Okay, we are now broadcasting Costa County. Now, this is midterm weeks, folks, and to get you here, all right, I'm missing Terry. I'm usually missing. I can count on her not being here. Hillary, lately, something's always happened with Hillary. Monique, her first day of missing, I think. So Monique is always here. Clayton and Jonathan and Cole used to always be here. Uh, Now Clayton and Jonathan Cole are missing at least one day a week. All right, now that's my observation, folks. But to get you out here, the last day of this midterm, before you get a week break, I'm going to give you some kind of test on Thursday. Didn't want to. Now in taxes, I hope you're here today because I'm going to give you a take-home tax test. If you're not here, maybe I could somehow email it to you or put it on Moodle somehow. We'll get that to you. But in Costa County, it will be an in-class test Thursday. All right. Now, we've
Open book. Open book.
taxes is open book. Cost, I'm debating it. I am debating, depending on what we get covered, Clayton. Now, in Costa County, we had covered pretty good job order. And we got into process. Now, you'll have interest for both types. You'll have journal entries for buying materials, issuing labor to work in process. You'll have actual factory overhead debited various times. And you'll have predetermined overhead rate put into work in process. Then when you got materials, labor, and overhead in the work in process, you transfer those to finished goods. And when you got them in finished goods, you can sell them. That requires two entries. Debit account receivable, credit sales. Debit cost of goods sold and credit finished goods. So you're moving it out of materials into work in process, into finished good, into sales. Same with labor. Work in process, into finished goods, into sales for cost of goods sold. Same with overhead. Put it in work in process, it all goes to finished goods. When you sell it, then you put it in cost of goods sold. Okay. So that is your journal entries for either situation. Now we're supposed to be digging into chapter 6, pretty heavy. It is harder to dig into it. Sometimes I only have one here, and so forth. I assign homework. I hope you get it. Now, according to my book, we have went over 15, 16, 17, 18 problems. All right. And according to my book, we still got 20, 23, 26, and 28. Now we may have went over 20. I don't know why we didn't go over 23. That was FIFO. All right. According to my notes here, we went over 26, but we went over 23 or 28. Now, I don't know if I made these other assignments or not, but we need to do, jot these down, Clayton, and everybody else, 31, 32, 34. All right, I also mentioned, we'll mention 36, 37, 43, 45. Now, what will I take up for bonuses come Thursday? I'll take up 31, 32, 34, 36, 37, 43, and 45 as bonuses. Now we may get to 31 and 2 today. We'll be working 2 of your bonuses for you. So right now we're gonna, I think we've done in class. We'll glance at them again. I think we did 20 and 26. I don't know about 23. Now we're going to look at a bare example this morning, though, what this chapter is doing. Well, no good if it won't let me write on it. Looks let me even write on Word. I know it will let me. That's Excel. I don't want Excel. Now we'll get over to Notepad. I know it will let me write on Notepad. Okay. Here's the deal. I'm going to give you a problem here. First off, we're going to do it weighted average. Now I'm going to give you beginning inventory, starting, and ending inventory. And beginning inventory, I'm going to say is 1/4 finished. And ending inventory, I'm going to say is 1/2 finished. I don't like that 1/2, so let's make it 3/4. I don't like the 1/2 because if you got the wrong 1/2, you're still okay. Okay, if Jonathan and Co. and Hillary and Terry and Monique are watching by the weighted average method, all right, this is for materials, labor, and overhead, all. You've got one answer for the weighted average. I don't know why I put we, but weighted average. All right. Clayton, do you have any idea where to start? All right. First off, Clayton, see how many units you are to account for. All right. We started 100. We had 10, right? That means we've got how many? 10 plus 110 is how many?
100.
Now, how many of those 110 do we have left? All right. So how many did we finish then or transfer out? Right. And that's what's important. So on the weighted average method, all you need is transferred out is equal to 105. And then ending inventory, we finished those 60% or 3/4. That's 75%. What's 75% of 5,000? Is it 3750? All right. So your answer is on the weighted average, 108,750. That is, if materials, labor, and overhead were all the 1/4 and the 3/4. Now you see, we pretty much ignored beginning inventory. But the way your book does it, they do the ending inventory and they do started and finished. Now, Clayton, if you got 100 started and you got 5 of them left, what is started and finished? 95 plus 10 is how much? And that's still your transferred out. But your book says beginning inventory 10, started and completed 95, ending inventory 3750. You still get 108,750. Now that's important, folks. That is weighted average. All right. Trying to find out my buttons here. That's important. That's weighted average. Now, I don't know if anybody's interested in being an entrepreneur or not, but that's what's going on down in the conference room right now. What's going on? Now, FIFO, I do want you to put down something about beginning inventory, started and completed, and ending inventory. Now, Clayton, the problem we just had up there, do you remember how many units I had in beginning inventory?
Yeah.
Do you remember what part they were finished?
75%.
All right.
No, a quarter. It was 1/4.
All right, then we got to complete these 75% then, don't we? If we'd already finished a quarter, I can't go back because I erased it. If we already finished a quarter, we got to finish 3/4, don't we? The started and finished, Clayton, you and me both said started and finished was 90, started and completed, 95,000 units. Ended inventory works the same thing with FIFO as it does weighted average. That was 3750. So your answer under FIFO would be a little bit different. All right, what would it be? 85, is that 105? Add that up. Is that 106? $106, $250. Now this is FIFO. All right, now we're going to look at a problem in the book. We're going to flip over and do again if we have to. Let me look at number 23, weighted average and FIFO. Lender company had 21,000 cents. So let's look at 23. That's got both methods. I'll get a new screen here. Okay, Clayton, you're the only one here to help me. All right. I need some details. They had how many units of beginning inventory?
21,000.
And they were how much complete?
85 as to material, 60 to direct labor, and 45 to
All right. Now, how many did they, I wonder how many they transferred out or how many they start and complete. So let's do a little more math here. They started how many units? 500 and how many?
61,000.
All right, now here's what we have before we go up here and do any calculations. We had 21.6 and we have 561. That gives us units to account for. Looks like 592.6, don't it? Now, they've got to tell us how many is in ending inventory. How many is in ending inventory?
13,600.
13.5?
13,700.
All right, to subtract, what am I going to get? that right? 579,900? I don't know. Is that 578? I believe that's 8, Clayton.
Yeah.
578,900. Now that is transferred out. Now we can do these figures over and over. So if we had 21,600 units, we started 61, we've got 592 to account for. We just accounted for ending inventory and transferred out. Is what went with our 592,600 units. Now, when we work this, whether it's weighted average or what have you. Now, how many did we start and complete, Clayton, looking at those figures?
21,000. You're talking about 21.
No, how many did we start and complete? We transferred out. All right, take the 561 starting and take the ending inventory. And that gives us how many we started and completed. So how many is that?
$7,000.
Keep that figure in mind. That's started and finished or started and completed. Now your book likes to use that figure. All right. Well, Clayton, I cannot keep all these numbers handy. So you're going to have to help me. You write all these numbers down. Started and finished. Started and completed. 547.3. Ending inventory. 13.7. Transferred out. 578.9. All right. If you got those, I'll just erase some. But using their little method on weighted average, we don't have to worry about these percents, do we? Weighted average, you don't worry about it. We know that's 15% to finish, 40% to finish, and 55% to finish. You don't worry about them on weighted average. Now, the way they're doing weighted average, they're just taking beginning inventory, the whole thing of 21.6. Now they're taking started and completed. All right, how many was started and completed there now, Clayton? That's the figure I want you to say. 5 what?
47.
3.
300.
All right, and then ending inventory was how much?
13,700.
It was completed how much for materials?
From the 80, for the second, 75%.
All right, materials was completed 75%.
Yeah.
All right, what is 75% of 13,700? What's 75% of 13,700? How much is that, Clayton?
10,200.
All right, now I want you to add this. What you're going to get? I don't have my figures lined up good, so Clayton, in your calculator, add those.
579,175.
Now, this is just for materials, isn't it? Now, to do that another way for materials, how much was transferred out, Clayton? What was that number?
578,900.
Now, how much was the 10,275 completed? Wait a minute. What was the ending inventory, Clayton?
13,700.
It was completed by how much?
75%. Material.
All right, multiply 13,000. All right, now, still on materials. Did that give us 10,275 when you multiply? Clayton, we got to get the same answers here. Something's wrong. Something's wrong here. I got to get the same answer. Once again, Clayton, how many did we start and finish? Was that 547, 300?
Yeah.
Now, transferred out, look at that again. It should have been 568, 900. Have you got 568, 900 there anywhere?
I did the second time.
Huh?
I did the second time.
All right, we got lost on that one, folks, but we should have the same answer. So in case we got lost too much, we're going to go look at an answer. Okay? Oh, I've got it now. I'm going to ask you to help me find cost solutions. What number was this, Clay? 20 or
23.
All right, here's 23. I think it will let me mark on it. This is dollars. Was this units? Here's units. Clayton, we got to 547.3, didn't we?
Yeah.
All right, Clayton, we get to 579, 175. Our last figure, is that
Yes,
what we got?
that's what. Yeah, because the other one was 578.
Yeah. All right, we got that correct by using their wording. Now you had to use 25% of ending. So you put the whole units up here. That's why if you added them to started and finished, you get units transferred out. If I add 21.6 to 547, that's units transferred out. All right, ending inventory, direct labor was only 25% completed, and overhead was only 10%. 10% of 13,750. All right, so here's your equivalent units for all three items: materials, labor, and overhead. Now I want you to look at D part. Here's what's important. C and D are important. Here are your answers for weighted average. The only difference here for FIFO is your beginning inventory. You've still got the same units started and finished, right? You still got the same equivalent units for ending inventory, right? The only thing that is different is beginning inventory. You subtract 85% from 100 and get 15. You subtract 60 from 100 and get 40. And you subtract 45 from 100 and get 55. That's the only thing different. So, can you handle that part of it, Clayton, to do FIFO?
Yes.
All right, that's what 23 is all about. All right. somewhere I had 26, 28 both marked at different places. I told you we may be working some of your homework, which is okay. Clayton, I think everybody got a grade the other day, but you. Now, Savannah and Jonathan, it's important you take this second test. You're counting it double. I got to turn in midterm grades Thursday evening. You don't have a test one. So Savannah and Jonathan, you got to have a test two. Okay. I probably will make this one open book, Clayton. Open book. So, and all listed, this probably will be open book. Now, number 26 is cost per weighted average in FIFO. Now, when you get units, all right, and you got the cost, I think this is number 26, isn't it? All you got to do is calculate your equivalent units. Your equivalent units for materials, beginning work in process, current period. This is dollars. B part, dollars. Now, if you got equivalent units, Clayton, did they give you these equivalent units? And B part?
Yeah,
They gave it to you, didn't they?
Yeah.
Just divide in the dollars to get unit cost. That's not hard whether you got an open book or not, is it? C part, current cost, and they gave you the FIFO EUP, equivalent units of production. The unit cost, the weighted average is 46. C part, FIFO is 45, 27, 28, 63, 64. They're all pretty close, ain't they? For weighted average, $1.36. For FIFO, it's $1.37. Pretty close, isn't it? Now, if you take 160 weighted average, the 120, that leaves you 40. 40 difference in the two methods. All right, there's 28 difference in the two methods. And then there's 18 difference. So that problem was not hard. They gave you the equivalent units. You had it made. Okay, Clayton, I have lost my numbers. What numbers did I give you between? I gave you 28.
I didn't spell right until 30.
All right.
But I'm pretty sure you said 28.
All right, what was your next two numbers? 31 and 2?
Yeah.
And then was that 36, 7, 43, and 45? Yeah.
34.
Yeah, I will mention these again. If you don't do 34, that's okay. Let's look at 28. $28 is weighted average and cost per unit. All right, beginning work in process, materials, conversion, current period cost. Now, once you start calculating and dividing and get unit costs, it's the same thing over and over. I want you to look at 28. We started 400 units. And I mean, we had 400, we started 38. And we got to be accounting for 42. And where'd those 42 go? All right, beginning inventory was 400 of those. Now I would just take units completed. And the difference between 39 and 42 is 3. You account for units. That's no big deal. Now you're beginning working process. You use no percents on weighted average. It's the whole thing. Started and completed. It's the whole thing. Oops, wait a minute. Started and completed 35. That's given now. And then find an ending inventory. You do have to take, Clayton, look at that problem. How much is your ending inventory?
Yeah, they calculate.
Well, it's up here at 300.
Okay, so it's
How much was it finished for material? %?
yeah, 40 for the. Well, there's two different numbers. It said I had 400 in process at first.
Right,
At
that's okay.
70%. And during the month, 3,800 additional boards at 40%. The material on 60%. Probably what it is.
All right, so what is 40% of 400, Clayton? I mean, are you sure it's 40% or?
Well, it's 40, but you gotta flip it, right? You gotta do it.
No, you gotta flip it when it's beginning. You don't flip nothing when it's ending. Well, it is 40. What is 40% of 300? That's correct. What's 40% of 300? 120, right? And what's 60% of 300? 36 is 18, 180. You're correct.
So it's about 400.
Yeah, we got to use 300. That's your ending inventory, not 400. Well, now we got equivalent units for materials and conversion costs. Well, now all you got to do is divide. You get your cost. That equals total cost. Okay? And that's 28. We'll try to look at 31 and 32. So 36, 37, 43, and 45 will be your homework and bonus for this chapter. All right. Let's read 31, Clayton. The following production and cost per equivalent unit data are given. Units completed during February was 490. Units started, units and ended inventory. That's the direct materials. And that's the direct 30% complete as to direct labor, 25 for conversion cost for overhead. If you take that 390, all right, I'm trying to see if that's 50. Let's see. Units and ending inventory completed as to materials, completed as to direct labor, completed as to overhead. All right, take 55,500, Clayton, from 390. Take 55,500 from how much?
34,500.
That started and completed. All right. What is the cost of the goods completed during February? Now, do you think there was any beginning inventory? Doesn't say, does it? Okay, did we get 390 there somehow or another?
390, they gave it to you.
Oh, they did? All right.
100%.
Now they give us the cost too, right?
Yeah.
They give us, no, they didn't. Wait a minute. I'm
They
looking.
give you cost per.
They gave you the 759 and the 1050, didn't they? So add those together, multiply by 390. That's all you had to do there for a part.
Or would you add it to the 390 minus 55?
No. Right now, the question they asked
It's all.
was the cost of goods completed. That's all they asked. They didn't say transferred out. So cost of goods completed is 707,625. No, wait a minute. 10,413,000. Now B part, what is the cost of ending inventory? Now that's where you come in. How much ending inventory did they have? 55,000.
55,500.
All right, it was 100% complete for materials, 30% complete for labor, 25 for overhead. So multiply that out and multiply it by 759 and 1020, and that should be easy to calculate, shouldn't it? Shouldn't that be pretty easy, Clayton? All right. Now C part was it asked for?
The total cost to account for.
In February. They give you those dollar amounts. Cost of goods transferred out. Did they give you that? C part. Did they give you cost of goods transferred out?
Oh no, that's the answer to B.
B part.
Yeah.
Right here. That's the answer to A part, Clayton.
The A part, right? That's what.
All right. Cost of goods transferred out.
But I thought that the A
All right.
part.
Now hold on a minute. Hold on. Now your ending inventory is how much? 70 what? 707,625. Clayton, you add these two together. That's all they're doing right here.
Right.
Getting your cost to account for, right? That's all they're doing.
But I thought, I mean, on the 10 million, I thought those weren't the ones transferred out. I thought they were all with it. As it said,
A part.
that A part's all the good. I understand that.
What's the cost of the beginning inventory?
Oh, okay, so you just added A.
Wait, no, what is the total cost of goods completed? We completed 390, and that's the 10.
Right.
And then the ending inventory,
Was the 7. You just added it.
add the two together. That means your cost is accounted for. Now that will be on your test also, okay? Now 32, glance at that, I'm gonna leave the rest of it for homework. And Clayton, I guess, if it's a day before a test, whether it's announced or unannounced, whether it's fair or unfair, Clayton's the only one here that gets a 5-1 bonus on this next test. I know it's fair to Clayton. Right, Clayton?
That's right.
All right. 32, this is FIFO, about the same thing. Was the total cost of beginning inventory. About the same thing, but it's FIFO. So please compare these two, 31 and 32. That's why I signed them. 32A, you got your beginning cost and then cost added. Materials was 80% complete, we had 20. Labor was 45%, we had 55. So if we add our new cost, we got total cost of beginning inventory transfer, 1,614,731.2. That's your beginning cost plus new cost to complete them. Now, if you take goods started and completed, well, how do we calculate that? Cost of goods transferred out. Okay, now add together 42.6, I guess, beginning. Okay, let's see, units, October completed production. All right, 1,570,000. We completed. Subtract beginning inventory from that, you'll get started and completed, okay? Remember how to do beginning. I'm running out of energy, folks. I am getting over this crud, but I'm going to call it quits here in a couple of minutes. That's why I'm giving you an open book test on Thursday. I didn't have any energy much at all last week, but I'm getting over this stuff. So we're going to call it a day, an open book test on 5 and 6 on Thursday, okay? And Clayton, I appreciate you coming in today, and you'll be here, I hope, for taxes. All right? And I hope other folks show up for taxes. I think Hillary is supposed to. So I'm going to stop broadcasting, folks, after about 40.